News every 15 minutes, weather every 10, and sports twice an hour.
Newstalk KGVO, AM 1290 and 98.3 FM.
You're listening to Montana Morning with Peter Christian.
Gianforte to be sworn in today. Good morning, everyone. It's Montana Morning for Wednesday, June 21st, 2017. According to Fox News, this is actually the first day of summer. So I guess we get a redo, right? Mostly clear and 59 degrees in Missoula right now. Pleasant morning. And our newscast this morning sponsored by Bulls Eyewear, Missoula's only certified master optician on South Reserve, right across from Larchmont Golf Course. One of our top stories this morning. Montana Republican Greg Gianforte is set to be sworn in this morning as the newest member of Congress, just a month after he body-slammed a reporter who asked him a question about the GOP health care bill. Gianforte, the wealthy former software executive from Bozeman, has called for civility in politics following his conviction for assaulting a reporter the day before winning a special congressional election. Gianforte won the May 25th special election to serve the remaining 18 months in the House term vacated by now Interior Secretary Ryan Zinke. Gianforte has already filed for re-election. He'll be sworn in this morning at 11:30 by House Speaker Paul Ryan. That's Mountain Time, by the way. Once his oath is completed, Republicans will have 239 members in the House to 193 for Democrats. 3 seats are vacant, although elections have been held. Of course, one of those being won by a Republican in Georgia just last night. Gianforte has appointed key staff members for his House office, one of whom is very familiar to Missoula and specifically KGVO listeners. Former newsman and sports broadcaster Tom Schultz will be Gianforte's Montana press secretary.
It's an incredible honor to serve the people of Montana, and one of the most important tasks is building a team that will make sure Montanans' voices are heard back in Washington. These are strong and talented leaders who have experience and a deep understanding of the issues we face here. We're building a team together that will stand strong for our Montana values and work tirelessly to protect our Montana way of life.
Schultz filled the same position for former Congressman Denny Rehberg. Also on Gianforte's staff, Chief of Staff Charles Robeson, State Director Leslie Robinson, and Evan Wilson as Western Regional Director. 31-year-old Michael Brewer is in the Missoula County Jail, accused of threatening several people with an axe near Potomac on Sunday. Deputy Missoula County Attorney Mark Handelman asked Substitute Justice of the Peace Mike Frelick for $50,000 bond yesterday due to the number and serious nature of those threats.
Felony charges of assault with a weapon, disorderly conduct, and criminal trespass after the defendant threatened numerous people, stating he was going to kill them, refusing to leave another person's property, and then pulling an axe on John Doe while threatening to kill him, causing him fear of serious injury.
Handelman said Brewer was also highly intoxicated at the time of his arrest.
It's also clear the defendant has a serious drinking problem. In just this latest incident, the defendant blew a .248, and considering all the history and underlying facts, he is a danger to the community, especially every time he drinks. He puts everyone around him in mortal peril.
Brewer's public defender argued that his client was covered with bruises and had a black eye at his court appearance, and that he disputed all the allegations in the complaint. He asked the judge to have a court official come to the jail and photograph Brewer's injuries. Judge Frelick set bail at $5,000, consecutive with an existing $25,000 district court warrant. A popular trail in Montana's Glacier National Park is closed temporarily because of grizzly bears frequenting the area. The Hungry Horse News reported yesterday the Avalanche Creek Trail is temporarily closed after the park received reports of up to 6 different grizzly bears in the Avalanche area. The bears are coming up to people exhibiting signs of habituation, meaning they appear more comfortable than is natural around humans. The park said Monday in a release the temporary closure will likely last several days and will give park managers the opportunity to assess bear behavior and movement, allow the bears to move to more remote areas, and identify any needed additional actions. The closure is in accordance with the park's bear management plan. In a news story yesterday, KGVO used inaccurate numbers when reporting the projected increase in the city's 2018 budget, stating the increase at 18% when the actual increase was only 3.87%. Chief Administrative Officer Dale Bickle said the error was due to numbers in a spreadsheet that displayed what the increase would have been if all revenue requests were funded.
There's a column on a spreadsheet, on our tax scenario spreadsheet, that showed the cumulative effect of the items that weren't funded in the budget, and enabled to fund those, it would have been an additional 18% tax increase. and the mayor did not present that scenario in his budget.
Bickle gave the two biggest causes for that 3.87% increase.
There is salary increase for non-union employees is about $315,000 total. And then we are also in the need of increasing our insurance premiums and our self-insured health plan, and that's approximately $327,000.
Bickle said the city will also be adding 3 positions in development services to better handle the rapidly growing building industry in Missoula. A Purple Heart awarded to a Butte man killed in World War II was returned to his family. The Montana Standard reports John Brandley's nephew received his Purple Heart Sunday. The Purple Heart was mysteriously given to a veteran of foreign wars group during its meeting in Great Falls in January. The report says the medal was awarded to Brandley posthumously. The family is unsure who the medal was originally sent to and when. Auxiliary member Joanne Piazzolla says after learning about the medal, she made it her goal to track Brandley's family down. According to the report, 18-year-old Brandley died when he was serving in the Philippines. His body was sent back to Butte 4 years after his death. With temperatures in Arizona and parts of California over 120 degrees, an environmental group in Montana is urging government officials to embrace renewable energy. Sky Borden with Environment Montana said temperatures are creeping higher in Montana as well.
Current estimates predict that if we don't change our climate change emissions right now, that we're going to rise 12 degrees by the end of the century in the summer. This comes from scientists at a group called Climate Central. This is sometimes referred to as the worst-case scenario projection.
Borden says carbon dioxide in the atmosphere will continue to rise if local, state, and federal government officials don't begin to take steps to curb use of fossil fuels.
If we don't do anything to curb our emissions and we continue on the path that we're on right now, that's what this estimate is meant to suggest, is that we'll continue to, in 2100, we're going to go up to 900 parts per million CO2 in the atmosphere. We're at 400 right now.
Borden also said that hotter summer days mean unhealthy air. In 2015, Missoula, Kalispell, and Helena each had 5 or more smog days where the air was unhealthy to breathe. Some of that, of course, due to wildfires. And finally, the Republican from the Associated Press, the Republican drive to roll back Barack Obama's health care laws on a collision course with a national opioid epidemic that's not letting up. Medicaid cuts resulting from the GOP legislation that has been proposed would hit hard in states deeply affected by the addiction crisis, according to state data and lawmakers in both parties. The House health care bill would phase out expanded Medicaid, which allows states to provide federally backed insurance to low-income adults previously not eligible. Many people in that demographic are in their 20s and 30s dealing with opioid addictions. Our News Talk time now is 6:13. Thanks for joining us on this edition of Montana Morning.
News Talk, KGVO.
Missoula's official weather station.
Ample sunshine today with our high temperatures warming into the mid to upper 70s. It will be breezy at times with wind gusts up to 20 miles per hour tonight. Mostly clear and breezy with our overnight lows in the 40s. I'm meteorologist Brooke Foster for Missoula's KECI 13.